Hey, it's Webs here with another mercenary build centered around two new mercenaries this time, Deathwing and Kazakus. So the idea of this build I actually got when I was playtesting the Vanderbilt as I queued up against someone who was actually playing the build, and the basic idea is to use Deathwing's second ability, the golems, to create a taunt based golem on Kazakus, and then finally pounce to just steal a bunch of attack from all the additional tokens that you're actually generating. And I thought that was a really neat idea. I did change up some of the equipments that they were actually using. For example, Sylvanas, for them, they were using Mournblade. I ended up using Death Volley as a way to just tie up games, as I viewed it as a better way to actually round out the team. It's a really fun build to actually play. But before we get into the mercenary by mercenary breakdown, there is one warning I have to give about this ability in particular. The thing is, this only triggers if he's actually attacked, which makes this a little bit weaker than I originally thought, but I did think it was a really cool idea and I wanted to do it anyways. With that being said, let's get into the mercenary by mercenary breakdown. The first one on the team, of course, is being Deathwing. The main ability that you're probably going to end up using for him is Elementium Armor, but you're not going to want to upgrade this fully, especially because if you leave it at level 3 or lower, you can actually guarantee kill it with Destroy All Life, which will allow you to heal with Deathwing's equipment that we're using, Resolve of the Undying, which restores 10 HP to this mercenary every time a friendly Elementium Terror is destroyed. Though if you are facing a bunch of dragons, you could just use Demon Soul to steal a bunch of dragons from your opponent. Don't really have to upgrade it because you don't have any fell damage within the team, but it is always a possibility of equipment that you want to use. And once Xuen dies or is pretty close to dead, you might want to switch to using Destroy All Life so you can actually gain some value off of the Elementium Terrors that are still left alive. Otherwise, you're probably going to just be using Claws of Terror. And for the next mercenary on the team, we're using Kazakus with the Battlecry equipment, Wild Vine, which gives us +4/+4 for all our characters, which is actually pretty good, at least on the starting board, as it gives Xuen some more attack, which is where you're going to scale most of your damage, at least early game. And for the main ability that you're going to want to be using with him is Build a Golem. You're mainly going to be using the Taunt Golem, though once Xuen dies, you can swap to the Rush Golems, as those will allow you to scale up his first ability to do a bunch of damage, especially with one of the later mercenaries on the team. I haven't really used True Shape too much, but if you have a few golems actually left alive after your opponent attacks into them, or if they're just avoiding them, you could use this to scale him up and then snipe one of your opponent's mercenaries so you get a copy of it on your team. The next mercenary in question on the team is Xuen. Xuen is using the Celestial Chestplate equipment, and for the most part we're using Pounce and Tiger Lightning. I'm never ever using the first ability on him, so you can just focus on upgrading these two, but for the most part you're going to be using Pounce, and then if you get large enough attack, use Tiger Lightning to finish off a bunch of your opponent's mercenaries. The next mercenary on the team is Vol'jin, and we're using Ring of Haste to speed up our shadow abilities, and for the most part we're using Curse of Weakness, and then you can do whichever one here depending on what mercenaries are still alive. Tamsin is the next mercenary. If we have Vol'jin out, Veil of Shadows is the go-to ability on CD with a combination of his third ability. However, otherwise you're probably going to be using Shadow Bolt, and the equipment that I'm using for her is Last Rites, just to give us another token on the board and to add more fuel to the fire for our final mercenary, which is Sylvanas. Sylvanas, we're using Reclaim Soul to scale her attack up by quite a bit, while also allowing us to use Death Volley as her equipment to just finish off the game either in a tie, or you could even Suicide Bomb her with her first ability, thus allowing you to just wipe your opponent's board with a few of your other mercenaries left alive. With that being said, let's go find some games. Okay, so they are mainly casters. I'm assuming this probably means Shadow, since I know Shadow's been getting a lot of popularity recently. It could also be Frost, which might be a little bit annoying, because if it's Frost, we're probably going to have to use Deathwing's first ability, and we might not want to use Xuen's second ability. I would still use it probably. Okay, so they are Shadow. we're gonna use his first ability. We don't even want to put up a taunt. Yeah, we'll put up a taunt and then we'll attack into Vol'jin. I don't think this will die this turn. They're going to focus down Kazakus. That's interesting. Or not. Okay, that's going to summon 2 elementals, and then we get that. And then we get to hit with a big Xuen, and it actually does kill it in 1 turn. Okay, so what is their backbench? We could snipe off their Natalie next, I think, is the play. I'm expecting Diablo and Karen. Yeah, okay. So this is much, much slower. It could AoE. Oh, I used the wrong thing here. I should have used the other one. I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to eat that up, I guess. And then we're going to pounce on Natalie. I should try to get rid of Samuro as quickly as possible, but... Okay, so that's going to hit there. It's going to do nothing. We can put down Vol'jin. I wonder how Kazakus works if he kills Karen. Well, I guess we're going to find out. Then Tiger Lightning. I'm not expecting this to actually survive. Actually, let's do it like this. I have a feeling that this should kill this. Okay, it depends on what they do there. They're going to get Kazakus dead. Pounce is going to kill that. We're going to put this down. We can try to do Tiger's Lightning. I doubt it's going to work, but you never know. And then Reclaim Souls, I guess. Because I'm pretty sure they're just going to speed that up. Okay, yeah, Samuro does get killed. Or, not Samuro. What the hell was I thinking? Okay, now this is slowed. We really should have killed Samuro for a second. I'll do that. Should be enough AoE to get rid of Samuro, unless they... No, they're too slow to actually do anything that would save Samuro here. Because we should be able to still win if... Oh, no, they're not going to be too slow. We're going to snipe that. We're going to nuke that. We might have wanted to actually put the damage back up. I think we should be fine. Yeah. Okay, so the last 2 have to be Cookie and Diablo, probably. And if we get this below lethal range, we should be fine. Actually, we should focus this. Get that below lethal. Yeah, I guess do it like this. Oh, they're not actually... Okay. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. We're just going to ping. I think if we ping enough, we should be able to actually win this. Like, I could get greedy with increased damage, but... Yeah, we do win this. It was actually a pretty close game. Because we get this out, and we just win. Okay, they're mainly casters, which could be good, could be bad. Bad because Deathwing's second ability doesn't actually work, but good if we can get Xuen to actually nuke some things down. It also depends if it's Frost. If it's Frost, it might be a little bit more annoying. Okay, they're nature. We're going to focus down Malfurion. Technically, if we transform turn 1... Oh, actually, they're not using Cookie. Let's summon 2 8/8s, and then that should allow us to get Brucon dead. Or close to dead. I'm always like 1 or 2 off, only if we actually had Xuen completely maxed out. Okay, so that's going to get low. We're going to attack that. We're going to put a taunt up here. I'm trying to think if I want to... screw it. We're going to finish off Brucon. The play might be to actually hit Guff. Oh, they're actually putting a taunt up. So I guess my decision didn't even matter in the end. They're going to focus down Xuen, maybe a little bit. We're going to steal a bunch there. We're going to one-shot that. And these can't do any damage. We're going to put down Vol'jin. If they put down a caster, we're using Tiger Lightning. Wait, they are using cookie, but they're not... Okay. Let's use true form. That... They could, in theory... No, we're pouncing. I'm not going to take any risks. Time for risk taking is over. Okay, they killed one of the golems. That's fine. This should still get pretty big. That's also the reason why I didn't want to take any risks. Okay, so we can do Tasman. And then his third ability, AoE, and increase shadow damage. Because I'm pretty sure this should kill Malfurion no matter what this turn. It also prevents them from healing. And their bench isn't that worrisome. I guess they could have Sinestra as one of the final mercenaries, but really weird they're using Fish Feast increase. Are they actually just Murlocs? Okay, they're going to prevent that from attacking. A little bit annoying, but oh well. Okay, so we can go full combo here. We should be... Oh, we can't because that's on CD. Whoops. We might actually lose this just because I should have probably made another golem or something instead of trying to attack to steal that. It really depends, I guess. That isn't big enough to do what we want it to, though. Oh, this should be actually quicker than this, so they can't heal. Okay, so they were kind of Murlocs, and it doesn't matter what we do there. We're just going to do that. We should be quicker than Cookie, which allows us to nuke Cookie, do a bunch of AoE damage there. They're not focusing down Vol'jin. Okay, I guess they thought they could get through. We're going to do this. Then we should just win the game here. Okay, so they're mainly fighters, which might not be a good sign because it could be orcs, and that isn't the best matchup in the world for a build like this. Really depends on what variant of orcs it actually is, though. We're going to put down our 3 mercenaries. So it is orcs. So we're probably going to focus down Thrall. That's my assumption here. We only really have 1 mercenary that actually attacks, so... We could also go for Gul'dan just to get it off of the board. Though I don't think this will kill Gul'dan in 1 turn. It really just depends if we want to go for either Thrall. Let's go for Thrall in the end. Okay, we're going to put up the taunt. Thrall should suicide himself a little bit on Deathwing or on the Golem, which is perfectly fine too. We don't get Thrall dead in 1 turn, but that is pretty close, so we're not in the worst position in the world. Going to use his second ability again, using this to get another taunt. And then we're going to attack into Thrall. And we're going to use Tiger Lightning because we do have a chance of killing 2 out of the 3, I'm pretty sure here. Actually, no. Gul'dan isn't low enough. So we're just going to attack into Gul'dan, and that should die no matter what. Thrall should also die for suiciding into one of our mercenaries. So, or not. That's actually really, really close. It's actually kind of frustrating, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to use his second ability again, attacking into Rokara. And then we're going to use Tiger Lightning. This should, in theory, kill at least Thrall if it hits it. Or we could just pounce. It really depends. We should be able to get one of the other ones low enough too, so... Oh, neat. They summoned another target for Tiger Lightning to actually kill. But it hits the wrong target. And the AoE, which is kind of a shock. Okay, we're going to put down Vol'jin, which should kill 3 out of the 4. And then we're going to pounce on Rokara. Okay, so we should be pretty close to winning here. They kill their own big token, and we kill Rokara. Okay, so we're just going to try to kill both of them here. If Xuen lives long enough. Okay, he doesn't. But we can put down our combo, which is nice. But we should win here, no matter what. Not, if not on this turn, on the next. Okay, so you're going to focus down Tamsin, which is perfectly fine. And then here, we'll just be able to finish them off. Okay, so we killed one. Then the AoE should just kill him, and we win the game. Alright, now that we're through the game, so let's discuss my final thoughts of the build. So overall, this build was actually a lot worse than I originally expected. And it actually makes a little bit of sense. You are fighting for space on your board between build a golem and Deathwing's second ability, as Elementium armor will actually just flood the board with a bunch of 6/9 elementals, which isn't necessarily bad, but you don't really need both of these mercenaries in the same team to have a build like this. I think a better variant of this would probably be using King Mukla with his big brother, as that does allow you to have 2 taunts also within the team outside of Kazakus. And that is probably my recommendation if you are going to try this build. Don't try to use Deathwing, try to use Mukla. Kazakus is still a really good addition to this team, especially because of the fact that Xuen can just still attack from his golems, and it will give you some flexibility of which golems you can actually use. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye bye.